Get started. Welcome to today's event. This is Colorado BioScience Connect user orientation. My name is Emily Martini. I am the Vice President of Partnerships with Colorado BioScience Association. Thank you all for being here today. We are really excited for this orientation because we are really excited for this new online platform. This is a member benefit that we have recently launched in the last few weeks. It is an incredibly powerful online platform that allows connection between the entire life sciences community in Colorado. It recently launched, and the official name is Colorado BioScience Connect, powered by KBI Biopharma. Thank you so much for sponsoring our platform, KBI. A few housekeeping items, and I did write them down, so I'm going to be referring to my notes. This is being recorded. We are going to be posting the recording online for folks to be referencing in the future. We'll also be sending out the link in a follow-up email to all those registered. We will also be posting and sharing out the deck from our presenter, so you have links to resources and an opportunity to refer back to this orientation later. We are looking for interaction within this event. There will be a presentation kicking things off, but then we'll be opening up to Q&A at the end of the event. If you could be dropping those questions into the chat, and we'll make sure to be watching those and make sure that we're responding to them. Now, I would like to introduce our speaker. We have had a great partner in launching this event with EcoMap, and Tom will be doing the presentation today. He is the Director of Customer Experience. If you could take it away, Tom.
Hi, thank you, Emily. And also, thank you for that introduction. And I just also want to let you know, in true startup fashion, EcoMap is a fast-moving startup. My title has actually already changed since we started working together. So I've pivoted my role from Director of Customer Experience to Director of Implementations and Adoption, because that is really my area of focus and expertise, which is one of the reasons I'm here today, is to help with that portion. So I have a brief presentation that I'll go over and show you some step-by-step guides. And then, as Emily mentioned, I'll be taking some questions. So without further ado, let me begin by sharing my screen. Oops, there we go. All right. So this is, again, to go over some member onboarding and also how to go about finding some information. And we're also going to talk about adding information as well. So just to go over everything I'll be talking about, we'll be talking about signing up and creating a profile. And we're going to start at the very beginning with how to create. And then we'll also talk about how to go about editing your personal profile keywords specifically. But you can also edit any aspect of your personal profile at any time. Then we'll go over, after you're on the platform and have created a personal profile for yourself, how you can go about finding and claiming your organization's page. And then we'll talk about ways to find information through lists, keywords, and directory pages. And then to close things out, we're also going to talk about adding a resource that you want to be out there and available for members of your network and ecosystem. So let's begin with signing up and making a profile. I'm sure everyone here has signed up and made a profile on some social media website or something like LinkedIn. It's not too dissimilar from that. You're going to provide a little bit of information. You'll get to log in either using your email and creating a password, or you can do Google or LinkedIn login. And then you'll also select keywords based on some questions that it asks you during the process. And so I want to go over this step by step with this guide that I created that will be made available to you when the slide deck is shared out. So here we have creating a Colorado BioScience Connect profile. And if this seems very granular and very detailed, for example, starting by saying click on sign up. I also used to be an engineer at Ecomap, and some of those tendencies make its way into my documentation. So go ahead and click on sign up. And if you're gonna use your personal email and create a password, you'll have to enter your first and last name. Though here you can also choose to sign in with Google or LinkedIn. And then just a reminder, if you are using your email and creating a password, don't forget to save it somewhere or use a password manager or something like that. However, should you forget your password, there are ways of getting in, either by getting a reset email or using a magic link. You're going to click continue, and you are going to be prompted with this message here. It's going to ask if you're interested in networking or just exploring. We really would like you to complete your profile, and in order to do that, you have to click networking. So make sure that you click networking. It'll give you one more prompt to create your profile. Click that. And then, as I mentioned, it's going to start asking you for some basic information, not unlike other sites that you've created profiles on. Much of this, if you don't want to provide an image, it will auto-generate a cute little avatar image in its place. You can share a bio. Go ahead and click next to proceed. And then just a little bit more information or job title, workplace. You can share your LinkedIn URL, or if you have a website with your resume or portfolio, you can share that as well. And then when you click next, you'll be taken to the privacy settings page. If you want to choose to make your personal profile public, you can just leave that box checked. If you don't want it to be public, you can uncheck that. And to explain what public versus private means, there is a member directory of individuals. So when you sign up and create your personal profile, this is where you can elect to appear in that directory or not. And then the other option being whether or not you would like people to contact you through the platform. Then we get to keywords. So this is very important because keywords are really the connective tissue on all of our eco-maps, but this is how people will find you, understand some contextual information, and also make you appear in other searches where people are looking for certain kinds of organizations or resources based on keywords. And so to do this, you simply answer the questions that they're asking you by clicking the drop-down menu, and you can either scroll through or type and select those keywords by clicking on them. And then they will be attached to your profile. Click finished when you're finished. And then from here, you can view your profile. And that's really all you can do right now is view and edit your profile. Because something else that's very important to point out, because this is a member benefit platform, members of the CBSA team that are administering the EcoMap, once you have created a profile, one of those team members will review and give you permissions to access the rest of the platform. So until then, you will just be able to view your profile and edit. And let's say perhaps you view your profile and you either forgot to add a keyword or you notice maybe you selected the wrong one. We're going to talk about how to go about editing your keywords. So either you clicked on that prompt to go to your profile, or the other way you can get there is anywhere on the EcoMap in the top right corner. You've got your user profile image. If you click that, it opens up this little menu, and you can head to your profile. And then once you are on your profile, you'll just click edit and the keywords tab. So it'll open up an editing interface where you can edit any basic information or keywords. So if you select keywords, it'll take you to an interface much like the one you saw when you were creating your profile. And so you would add any additional keywords the same way that you did before. But if you want to remove keywords, just notice these little X's next to each keyword. You press those to get rid of them. But there's one more important step. If you notice in this picture here, there's this little scroll bar, which I'm actually working on getting removed because this step is a little bit extra that you have to remember. You got to make sure that you save changes. So if you don't see that save changes button, it's just a little tiny scroll, hit save changes, and then from there you can click close. And then on your profile, your keywords will appear. So that is creating a profile and editing your keywords. We're going to move on now to claiming your organization profile. And again, very important to remember, if you create your profile and then immediately try to go find your organization and claim it, you will be met with a message that says, hold on, you haven't been verified by an admin yet, unless an admin happens to be on the back end and looking at you as soon as you sign up and granting you permissions. So there might be a little bit of wait time. So let's assume that you have been given those permissions. We're going to walk through the process of claiming your organization's profile with another step-by-step guide. So the first thing you're going to do is navigate to the organization's directory. And this is where we'll be able to search for our organization. This is in the left sidebar on the eco map. And once you are there on the directory, you can put into the search bar the name of your organization. And I am just using Sundance Diagnostics as an example here. But I search for them. Once you find them, you click on that and it will take you to the organization's profile page. So just like you as a user, your organization will have its own profile page. And when you are signed in, down here, you'll see this little claim org tab. When you click that, you'll be prompted with this message and you can click Start Claim Request. There will be some basic information that will automatically populate based on your profile. And then the different ways of verifying your relationship with the organization, a few different methods. One, if your email matches your organization's email, then that's one way an admin might verify you. Alternatively, you can upload a PDF document of some kind. Just be sure that if it has any sensitive information, that it's redacted. Our systems are secure, but if it's personal information that you don't want out there for being viewed by an admin, just keep that in mind. And then you can also share a live LinkedIn profile that is public. You can also share a personal their organization's website if you have like a Teams section to verify your relationship. And then once you click on the submit button, you'll be shown this message, which is just telling you your request has been sent and it's going to be reviewed by one of the CBSA admins for the EcoMap. And once you are verified, you will be able to manage your organization's profile page, and you will also appear under their profile and their organization will also appear on your profile. So one of the benefits of this is, again, showing the connectivity between the people and the organizations within a network. So that is the process of claiming your organization. Now let's just talk a little bit about finding the different kinds of information and benefits on the EcoMap. The three main ones I'm going to go over are directories, keywords, and lists. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the lists directory. I do want to point out another great way to search this platform is this ever-present search bar in the top right. This will take you to a search page once you've searched, and I'll show an example of that in a little bit. But this is the lists directory. So over here on the left sidebar, if you click lists, it will take you here. And these are curated lists that the CBSA team has put together. You can see Elise has created all of these. So this is a good way to find information curated under certain criteria, either by a network member or a member of the CBSA or the Colorado BioScience team. So just as an example, lists can be comprised of any of the data on the platform, including people like this one. And so here's a little information about the list and Elise who made it. And here are the people involved. So if you want to know who the Colorado BioScience team is and where to view their profiles and get in touch with them, you can use this list here. And you can also find the associated organizations. Another really important list, and one that will hopefully grow over time with this platform, is the CBSA member-to-member discounts list. And so this is another reason why keywords are so important when you are adding any information to the platform, which again, I'll go over in a few moments. But this list is a curation of resources that offer some kind of discount or an incentive or subsidy to CBSA members. So when I go over adding a resource, I will also show you how to add the discount tag to that resource so that it will be able to be added to this list. So in a nutshell, that is lists. I will also say that each individual that signs up for a profile also has a saved items list. So when you are going through here, if you don't always want to come back to this directory to find the member-to-member discounts, you can actually save this here. And then when you go to your user dashboard in this top right, you'll be able to view content that is associated with you. So if I go to my content and I go to my lists and I go to my saved items, I will be able to view that list here. So as I might save resources or different lists or different organizations, that will continue to populate this area, and it's a good reference for just your own personal interests and items from the platform. Another way to find information, of course, are our directory pages. And so as an example, if I'm interested in finding organizations working in RNA, for example, I can search RNA. I see I get 11 results. I'm going to go ahead and check out Velocity Sciences. And I can read a little bit more about them. I can also visit their website or contact. But I see under their keywords, under types of biotech, therapeutics, and diagnostics, I see RNA here. So I can go back to the directory and keep searching for information or organizations around RNA that way. Or, as I mentioned before, keywords are another great way of searching the platform. So I'm actually just going to click on RNA. And that's going to take me to the keywords profile. And this is where I will view anything that is tagged with RNA. So we see there are 5 organizations here that are tagged with RNA. And then if I want to continue searching by different kinds of keywords, if I go, I can either click back to all keywords or I can click this keyword directory. And this is where you can explore different keyword types on the platform and anything associated with them. By default, it shows you the top 10 in any of the different types. And what that means is how many different items they're tagged with. So you see under clinical research, there are 82 things that are tagged. So if I click clinical research, it's going to bring me to this page and show me everything tagged with clinical research all in one spot. If there were resources tagged with clinical research, then that would also populate over here. If there were people that when they sign up, say that they work in clinical research, then those people would also show up on this page. That is finding information on the platform. And then lastly, I want to go over adding resources. So this is the resource directory, different from the organization directory in that these are offered by organizations. They're not the organizations themselves. They're particular programs or funding opportunities that are populated here. So if you wanted to add a resource from your organization, you would come here and you would click add resource. You can search for it. What did I say? Rural. Yeah. So it's not there. So I'm going to add the URL for what I'm looking for. So I've actually found this resource, Rural Catalyst Grants. And it populates a picture and the name of it and a short description. You can check this. This is just grabbed from an HTML header from the link. So if you want to use a different picture or change any of this language, you can. You can add a little bit more information. You can also add contact information if you wish. And you can also add dates, deadlines for the resource if that's relevant. And then on the next page, these are the keyword related questions. So what type of resource is this? We know it's grant funding. And I'm going to go right up until the moment of submitting this as a resource because I would like to let professional bioscience professionals be the ones to tag this correctly. But just as an example, the type of resource, it's grant funding. And then should this be a resource that you are adding that you would like to be a discount, as I showed you before, that member-to-member discount list, if this is something that should belong on that list, on the general tags about this resource, you'll want to select discounted. And then that will appear in the discounted search. And then various other keywords that you can fill out for it is this resource targeted towards a specific audience, what industry is it applicable to, and so on and so forth. And then you would submit this, and once you have submitted a resource, it gets marked as needs review, and one of the Colorado BioScience Connect admins will review that and then either approve or reject it based on the information provided. And I believe that was it. So when this gets sent out, this last slide, it was where those 3 step-by-step guides, I linked them all in one place. So you can find those there. And that is that. So questions? There any questions at all? Did I just do too good of a job? Okay. How can we invite other company employees to join up? That's a great question. As just a typical verified user, the best way would probably be to email a link to them to the platform. There's no formal way currently for just a verified user level, which verified user just means you have a profile. There's no like invite button, but that is excellent feedback to potentially add in. So right now it would be by contacting them yourselves with information about the platform. However, admins do have the ability to send invite emails to certain companies. Should an organization be claimed by everyone at the company or only by the individual who will own the company information? That's a great question. And the answer to that is it's your preference. I do recommend, if you have multiple folks on the platform from one organization, to go ahead and claim it and be approved to be associated with it. However, when you are signing up and editing your profile, you should have the option to associate yourself with a company. But the reason I suggest going ahead and letting others claim it is, again, to show the connectivity between all the moving parts of an organization, its people, and how it might relate to others, which actually reminds me of something very important that I wanted to go over regarding after you've claimed a resource. And I'm so glad you asked that question because it reminded me to go over this. When you find yourself on an organization that you manage, you will want to see that it's receiving auto updates here. When you go in to edit your the keywords for your organization, you will have an option to, sorry, I'm trying to find, when you go to edit your keywords, there will be an auto update toggle. You want to leave that on auto update. If you change your keywords, it'll take it off of auto update, and we do not want that at this time for you to be doing that. So I just want to emphasize that you don't want to, do not uncheck auto updates. If there are any questions about that, I can answer them.
I will take a stab at Carl's question. Great question, Carl. Thank you for raising this. CBSA will continue to have our website where events and things like that are hosted and where information is shared. The Connect platform will be in addition to and an additional benefit brought to our members, and it will eventually be replacing the directory. But we wanted a little bit more of a runway for that. So yes, it will be replacing the directory. No, it will not be replacing the cobioscience.com website.
Great. Are there any other questions? And also, I'm happy to answer other questions you might have in general about the tool itself.
Tom, if you could go over just real high level how the data is curated on the platform and what the technology looks like that's pulling all of this information into one online space.
Yeah, sure. Well, it starts with a foundation in a lot of research and conversations that we have with our customers. And I'm talking about over the years at EcoMap. When I started at EcoMap, there was a lot more human involvement in the data as we were developing more accurate scraping tools that are powered with AI and all of that. By the way, we were saying AI way before it was as much a buzzword as it is right now. I just want to point that out. But I do recognize it's very much in the collective consciousness. But we do use AI-powered scraping tools and other things that our engineers could go into more detail about, that goes out and finds the information based on the type of data that we know our customer wants to appear. And actually in Colorado Bio's case, much of that data was provided. But the other thing that we do is then continue to monitor that data. We have a couple different proprietary tools that we've made in-house for detecting when updates need to be made. And that's either, whether there's a dead link that's linking to a 404 or something like that, or the date for a resource has passed. So any of the data that has been curated for the platform will continue to be updated on our end using those types of tools. Does that answer the question, Emily, or anything else around that you'd like me to go into more detail with?
Yep, that's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay.
In the past, we have had a printed directory in our magazine. where when we would see updates happening within the community, we would be making those updates to the directory. But when you're printing something and when you're doing something with human data management, there's always room for error. So with this new platform, we'll be able to bring in, and we are bringing in, much more up-to-date and accurate information that is kept up to date every single week. So when folks are looking for additional information about the ecosystem, they're finding the most up-to-date data that they can find. It also gives us an opportunity to have line of sight for what the entire life sciences ecosystem looks like here in Colorado. As an association, we work really hard to have our finger on the pulse of what's happening with every life sciences company. But when you're talking about a small but mighty staff, using this online platform is a much more efficient way to make sure we know exactly who's in the ecosystem here in Colorado.
Excellent. And then Michael, how do you find Colorado BioScience Connect? Well, one way you can find it in the chat, because I just sent the URL. Great question though about like how do I Google this or something like that? Because especially when our ecomaps are early on in their life cycle, it is a little tougher to find them through Google. So I did just Google Colorado BioScience Connect in full, and it was the first thing that popped up. So that is great. As far as it appearing in organic searches, when you search Colorado BioScience, you might have to scroll down a little bit. Any other?
It is also linked on our website at the top of the directory.
Fantastic. Thank you for doing that. You'd be surprised how many of our customers don't link to their ecomap from their website. Any other questions at all? You can ask personal questions about me. 3 cats and a dog. I live in Baltimore, Maryland.
Love long walks on the beach. If there are not any other questions, I think we can wrap up this orientation. So definitely interrupt me by dropping other questions in the chat if you would like to. But thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you for being members. And Tom, thank you so much for all of your support with this platform. It is a huge member benefit, and we are super excited about it. And also thank you for your time in sharing the details with our members here today. As a reminder, this is being was recorded, so we'll be posting that and sharing that link out. We will also be sharing the slide deck and posting that slide deck so you have easy access to those resources. Francis also does regular Discover events. They're hosted on a regular cadence, and they're a really good overview of all sorts of things involved in membership, from navigating your member portal to navigating the cost savings programs that CBSA has negotiated on behalf of our members. And she is also going to start incorporating Colorado BioScience Connect into those Discover events. The next one is coming up on September 30th. If you do have questions, please join us at that event. Or if questions come up before then, please make sure to reach out to either Francis or I so that we can help support you in using this latest member benefit. Well, I think that is all, and I will go ahead and sign off. Thank you all. Have a super rest of your Monday.